we are constantly being pulled down. And it is our muscles that keep us upright. Which is why it's so important to work on your postures, so important to engage your muscles when standing. Because there are so many reasons. Do I just go into them? Sure, you're here anyways. Alright, got you locked. So, what I love about posture is, so many things. Where do we start? The reason why I got into it, two big reasons. Sit for so long. Recognize this? Recognize this? Have you seen this before? By chance? Maybe flip this, Yeah, I used to look like this, right? Until I saw a video probably that said, hey, just by the way you hold your body, you can change the way you look. What do you mean with that? And then I tried it out. What? Same person, same body composition. All it is I went from this to this. How cool is that, right? Reason number one was the aesthetics. Like, okay, so just by the way I hold my body, I can manipulate how it looks. Which is such a relief, honestly. Like, if you've got a lot of weight on you, if you don't got a lot of weight on you, it's still nice to know that you have some agency over how you look just by the way you hold yourself. It's pretty cool. And the more you do, the more you train this. I mean, this requires a lot of muscle engagement, but that in itself is a lot of muscle training. And all you're doing is standing. Okay, reason number two why I got into posture. Well, let's just say I, like many people, hadn't learned how to do posture, and I didn't know why it was important until pain. Pain is a signal that says, there's something going on here. And at that time, I had been working a job that, let's just say I couldn't go a single shift without pain medication. Ibuprofen. It wasn't great. It was just a normal job, a job that many people do. And it wasn't just that, it was like all the other things that I've done. It's not job specific, it's just basically how you hold your body. And I was holding mine all wrong, and then I was just lifting things wrong, and I was moving in ways that just weren't all that great for me. And then when I ended up in physical therapy, they said, no wonder you have pain. Your stomach is too weak. Your posture is all wrong. And I'm like, well, what does that have to do with my stomach? And that's where I learned this has the job of keeping us upright, right? I mean, gravity, don't forget. If we didn't have our muscles engaged all the time, we would be on the ground kind of like this. Okay, hang on. Okay, so our stomach, our core's responsibility is to keep us upright. And like I used to, and like many people, the big curve around any stomach exercises because, it's not summer to do those wash those abs or exercising abs is, at the time I thought I didn't like it. I know now, it's different. Anyways, so if this is not doing its job properly, like if we are not engaged and our posture is shit, let's just say it like that, we still gotta stand upright. So how do we do that? Well, the muscles here, basically in the back, the glutes, and in the legs, all need to compensate. They are now doing double time on what they're actually meant to be doing, simply because core wasn't doing its part in the group project. So they're carrying all the load, stomach is chilling, because we don't do that here. Our stomach, our core, Our core's responsibility is to keep us upright. Huh? And like I used to, and like many people, do big curve around any stomach exercises because, you know, oh, it's not summer, don't need those wash, those abs, or exercising abs is, at the time I thought I didn't like it. I know now, it's different. Anyways, so, if this is not doing its job properly, like if we are not engaged and our posture is shit, let's just say it like that, we still gotta stand upright. So how do we do that? Well, the muscles here, basically in the back, the glutes, and in the legs, all need to compensate. They are now doing double time on what they're actually meant to be doing, simply because core wasn't doing its part in the group project. So they're carrying all the load, stomach is chilling, because, you know, we don't do that here. And then you got pain, and then you got shit posture, and then, well, I mean, you see it everywhere, right? But no one ever taught you how. Now, right now. Okay, I love teaching posture. It is a passion of mine. Passion, posture. I've been trying to words that rhyme with posture, just a little side note. Anyways, posture, puppeteer, that's cool too. Anyways, my passion, posture. So I've been doing my job as a rehabilitation fitness trainer for a while now. Lots of fun, and I have had the opportunity of repetition and teaching this over and over and over to a bunch of different people, and then to the same people over and over and over. And what I've figured is how to make it a whole bunch easier. So at first, I'll show you how I used to do it. So first, I would get you rolling your shoulders back. This is a nice, and this is really good if you've got stiff shoulders, but it's also a nice little posture correction, because in our everyday, as you saw with the shoulders running forwards, the more you work here, the more you have your drivers, your wheel, you've got your food, your work, whatever you do, it's all up here, it's all forwards here. And then with time, your shoulders tend to round forwards. Opening it up, doing shoulder circles backwards, doing arm circles backwards, opening up. All of this expands the muscles here in the chest, gets the muscles here between your shoulder blades nice and engaged. Just have to. And it's nice and good. Anyways, I would get you to start doing this, and then I'd say, okay, hang on. So now we want to have our shoulders back and low. See what happened with our chest? It automatically raises up. What we want is the sternum nice and proud. And first get used to this. So this for many is completely different, right? If you spend the majority of your time in your body standing like this can feel totally alien. It's like, I don't know, what does this look like? What if I feel, do I look arrogant? Do I look like I'm all that? Those are the thoughts that come up for many. And I get it, because you're taking up more space. What you do with your body is a signal to your brain. It is your personality, it is your character, it is who you are. If you've been like this, if you've hidden yourself, like I used to behind my hair, and I didn't make myself small. If you spend your life like this, taking up space, making yourself big, is, well, it's new. It's new. And so cool. Anyways. So we have shoulders back, chest raised, and then the next part of my little demo is put your hands here, your fists on your hip belts, right here. Have you ever seen one of those cars from, don't get me on the decade, but they're like big, round, what are they called? Shine grass out. Headlights, there we are. Big round headlights, and in the cars that used to be, they had like, they were hidden, and then they opened up like a little, you can press a button, and then all of a sudden you'd have headlights out, and then you got them around. A little bit of extra info. Now you know, That's not the most important part of the story, but anyways, you have your headlights. Thank you for getting back on track. Okay, and now we're gonna be doing a little bit of pelvis tilt. You're gonna be seeing this in the videos I share with you a lot because mobility in your spine is just so important. So we've got this going on. Notice how I've got my knees slightly bent and forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. Now you have your headlights here. Wow. Imagine they have a light shining. If I have this hollow in my back, where are the headlights showing now? I'm going to go ahead and give you a hint. It's down. Diagonal and down. If I tilt my pelvis forwards, really, really far up, I'll show you from here, like this, got my glutes, my butt nice and engaged, my legs are slightly further apart. Wow, where are they shining now? I'm going to tell you, they're shining diagonally upwards. We want to adjust this so we get them straight ahead, our golden middle. And so, if we tilt our pelvis forwards, have our shoulders back, boom, we're already in it. That was how I used to teach it. I figured out a much easier way of doing it. So, the easier way, a long-winded explanation as to where I am at now. Because, you asked for this, a little bit more, a little bit more. How I teach posture now is pretty much we have our sternum here, this bone, got just. I'm probably not going to edit this out. We might, well, we'll see. Anyways, just in case I do, I'm going to go ahead and do a little reshot. So we have our sternum here. We want to pretend that we have a string that is pulling us upwards. Like, huh. The reason why, no, the cool insight as to why this is important, why this makes sense, just pulling this up is, look at this. We have in this area our ribs, heart, lungs, arms, head, nose, shoulders, knees, and toes. And that's a lot of weight. And if we are just, hanging out here, letting us pull down by gravity, well, it's gonna go like this over the years. It's just like this still, not that great. However, if you help your body by just raising your rib cage, you don't need to do anything with your shoulders, it just happens automatically. Like from here, just raise your chest. Hang on, my arm's a little bit sticky, it's kind of warm. Raise your chest. You are in it. All it took was, what? One more time. What? Now, we are back to our hips. The whole find your headlights position. Easy enough, just squeeze your butt. Like, that's gonna automatically squeeze your butt and get your hips into position. Does it make sense to show you? I might as well show. From this, notice I still have my broad shoulders because I'm just focusing on this down here. So, if you have a posture like this, that means rounded shoulders, a pooch. Can you see this? A hollow back. What's that called in English again? Hohlkreuz. I'll tell you in German. Whatever, we're learning. So if you've got this going on, and maybe even a neck hump, from this position, and maybe it's not so crazy with you, maybe it is. Sometimes you don't know until you see it. And all you gotta do is raise your chest and squeeze your butt. And then when you got those two steps, last but not least, is engage your core. That means squeeze the tummy muscles, squeeze. And the cool thing about that is if you practice this posture every single day as often as you possibly can and make this your normal, first of all, this becomes your comfortable It's not. No, it's relaxed. It's nice. It's upright. Your spinal column is exactly as it should be, right? This becomes so much more comfortable than this. When I spend time in this position, it hurts. And I'm like, hang on, what am I doing? I don't do that anymore because I noticed this is just so much more comfortable. You don't have any pain anymore. Another cool thing that I really want to share with you and why it's important. Okay, so have you seen a spinal column before? I hope you have. If not, I might edit it in. We will see. Okay, so imagine the spinal column, right half. We have the vertebrae and their discs. Okay, so we have the vertebrae and the discs in between each of the vertebrae. The discs act as a I'm translating this. Weight distribution, or it distributes the pressure? Yeah, okay, so we have gravity pulling us down. We're still standing upright, and with each and every step that we take, we've got this constant pressure on our discs. Bum, 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 bum. Now, whether you're standing, whether you're sitting, if you spend more time in this hunched over position, imagine the disc, yeah? Let's call it here. And the vertebrae is now mostly hanging on this part, one half of the disc. And if there's a constant, if there's a constant pressure on only just partial disc, it's gonna slip out. If you have your spinal column upright, as it's built by nature, and right on top of each other, well, that pressure is distributed evenly in your movements. Check it out, check it out. Each vertebrae, in between each column, each disc, evenly. So when I move, I don't have all this going on anymore. Now, as a little bit of a tip for how to practice this. Forget all of the pull your shoulders back, head up, and act as if there's a string here, whatever you heard in posture. I suggest that you practice by going on walks, because when you're in the movement, your body automatically kind of just ditches the stiffness because it realizes, hey, stiff movement is so inefficient. How do we make this easier? For example, if you, when you try your posture, start like this. And I've seen it all in my classes. Everyone's like, this is so weird. I've never done this before. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I get it. When I first started my posture training, I did the steps that everyone has said. Shoulders back, chest up straight. And then walk like this, and you have to have your shoulders back and pull it back. And I'm like, It doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. When you are in the movement of walking, as I did, you start out stiff because you're just like, hang on, what was it again? Raise your chest, squeeze your butt, and I'm gonna show you the stiff version. You're just like, and then you do it for a few more steps, and then you notice like, oh, it doesn't actually have to be that stiff. You can have your chest raised, you can squeeze your butt, and it can look natural. I know this is a very small space to be walking, but you know. Good one. Give it a try. It really is worth it for so many reasons. First of all, your appearance changes. How you introduce yourself to others happens long before you speak and say, hi, I am. It's the moment someone lays eyes on you and you're either like this or this. I have a very, very keen eye for posture. I think it is very important and it has a lot to do, your attractiveness has a lot to do with how you carry yourself. That is a preference of mine I look at people, how they move, how they stand, how they carry themselves. That's just one thing. There is the effect that having this posture has on your psyche. For example, if you spend your time, you're making yourself small like this, and if you spend your time like this, you're gonna notice when you make yourself big, all of this, let's just put a word on it, let's label it. This is confident. This is confidence. This is taking up space. This is saying, hi, I'm here. See me. And the more you spend time, the more your body spends time like this, you are pretty much reprogramming your identity. You are no longer this. You're this. And this is just so confident. Just a few years ago, before I practiced my imposter, before I made it part of my life, I was completely different. Could I have imagined giving classes and talking to other people in the eye? I don't think so. It was definitely a completely different life that I lived before this. And now, in addition to the confidence that you receive, your body shows the way first. When you spend time in this, you're signaling to your brain, hey, I am big, I am safe, and I take up space. And that then carries over, okay, I am big, I am confident, I take up space, and that is okay. That is okay. I'm such a kid. Next. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, because we have our booty engaged, we've got our chest lifted, and therefore, yeah, your stomach is also engaged. We've got our muscles doing the work that they're meant to do. Our muscles are meant to be keeping us upright. And when we have all of this going on, like all the time, whether we're just standing, whether we're sitting, we're moving, walking, this is exercise. You are strength training by standing, walking, and sitting. And you look hot, you look sexy. So when you are constantly strength training, just by how you stand, I mean, you are working out all the freaking time, and you're getting stronger, and the more you do this, the easier it becomes. Does it become easier to think of? Yeah, I mean, the more you do it, sure. In the beginning, it might take a little bit of getting used to if you've never done this before. But just be okay with that. If you do this posture training 10 seconds, that is 10 seconds more than not at all, really, and that counts. And if you do it okay, another 10 seconds. Let's say you're at the cashier, you're standing in line, and you see someone hanging over their cart like this, or someone on their phone like this, or doing something, and they're like, oh, how am I standing? And then you just, okay. Every single time that you put your body into this position, you are sending a signal to your brain. You're saying, hey, this is important. And the more that you do it, your brain's like, oh, this again? This again? Again? Okay, well then I guess I need to start restructuring the pathways in my brain, the neural pathways. They start expanding. What at first is, oh, right, hang on, what was it? Okay, lift your chest, squeeze your butt, engage your core. Got it. That little step-by-step is the first information. It might take a moment. The information is going, basically, let's call it a one-way street. It's something small. The information is going through, but you gotta remind yourself, hang on, what was it? And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you have a two-lane street. Perfect. You already know the steps. Like, okay, hang on. Now I just gotta do it more often. You do it more often. You make it so that it is your normal, and then eventually you've got an American 8-lane highway, and I spend all my time in this position because I know this feels good. It feels good to be like this. Yes, I need to constantly remind myself to work on my posture. Yes, I have been doing this for a while now and I'm still learning. Because the cool thing is, like, you start with the basics and then it goes to the next step and then it goes to the next step. So the basics are hang on, and doing it. Then, once you have made this your normal, okay, so you work on your posture, you've made this your normal. How about now you can work on the aesthetics, that it looks nice. You can move your body a little bit more. Cool, what's the next step after that? Then it is the individual muscle contraction. What I've been doing now is, like, when I walk, I individually squeeze left and right booty. Left, right. And then I switch to something else. You don't need to do it all at once. Every single walk that I go on, or at least most walks, I choose, okay, now I'm gonna be focusing on this muscle group. Now I'm gonna be focusing on this little experiment. You could go on a walk and you do left, right. Yeah, sometimes that's what it's like in my mind when I'm squeezing my booty. Not anymore as often, but when I began. Then I figured, okay, what is it like when I engage these muscles here? Attached to the groin and up to my abdominals. What I realized is I can move my legs by engaging my tummy. When you train your stomach, when you train your lower abs to move and interact with your hip flexor, your adductors, all of this, you will find out. I know, I'm working with a little bit of space here, but you can move your body with your tummy muscles. That's fucking cool. You can move your body with your booty muscles. You can, on a walk, say, okay, now I'm gonna be focusing on my calf. Left, right. It's just so much fun. If you start taking the time to make that mind-body connection, like, okay, I want to send my awareness here. Okay, I want to send my awareness here. Where am I doing it now? Okay, here. When you start sending your awareness into different parts of your body and just playing around with it, you are connecting with your home. You are connecting with your body. You are working on so many things because of all of this engagement, strength. You are working on your coordination, that's brain training, left, right. You are concentrating, you are moving more fluidly, you're getting that mobility. You're coming home to all of this. And the more that you do this, the more that you are able to do with your body. And that just feels incredible. And the cool thing is, it doesn't depend on age, it just depends on doing it. And I highly recommend it to you for all of the reasons that I've shared so far, as well as a little bit of a caution. I, as a rehabilitation fitness trainer, have contact with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that have spent the majority of their life not moving enough and with poor posture and with poor posture when picking things up and I'm going to say in German, this is blame the temperature. They haven't moved enough and they've put pressure on all the wrong points too often in their life. They've had this posture their whole life, and that is just causing pains, causing all of the issues. Like, if your posture is shit, that is the foundation. If your foundation is broken, how is the home supposed to stand? If your foundation, if you've never been taught the right posture, of course your body's gonna crumble. Of course it's gonna hurt. Of course your body sends little messages, hey, I'm here, hey there, we gotta take care of this. And if you are someone who's like, not now, I gotta take care of that, I gotta take care of them, I've gotta take care of this and that person to do that. If you tell the pain in your body every single time it says, hey, pain is the signal. If you, eventually, it's gonna come in screaming and yelling, and that is sickness. If you ignore your own body for too long, your body's gonna make sure you listen. That is why the majority of people, when they enter the retirement age, they're like, finally, yes, finished with this amount of years of working and I can now rest. And they stop moving, and when they stop being in fight or flight mode or needing to do this and do this, and then finally I've got some time for me, your body's like, wow, I've been counting all of the things, all of the times that you ignored me, and now it's going down. So many people, as soon as they stop working, as soon as they take a moment to, it's my time, it all comes in, crashing in all at once. Like, over the years, you got so many signals, like, can't focus on you now, can't focus on the body. And that's gonna come. That's why I want better for you. I wanna give you this now. If there's anything that you work on, that you take from this, it's work on your posture, get the foundation right. Like, remember that we are constantly being pulled down, and it is a choice how you hold your body. You can do so much to support yourself by standing upright. You can do so much good for yourself. You can prevent so much pain. And I want to give you permission. Take time to really just get to know your own body and to do good for yourself. If you are someone who constantly puts other things and other people ahead because, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, start putting up boundaries, start saying no to a lot more things, start giving yourself more time and just come to it really is worth it. Because if you take the time now to give yourself, to listen to your body, to relax, to unwind and do good for you now, you're gonna be saving yourself so much time and so much pain later on. It's what you do now that saves you from all of that. All of the people in my classes, what they thought was giving everyone their attention and doing this, I don't have time for my body and I don't have time for this, that time is going to be forcefully taken back through sickness and through pain. They have to spend time here in these classes learning what they didn't learn so many years ago. They have so many doctor's office, they have so many injections and shots and pain therapies. All of that could have been prevented with the information of, this is how you hold the human body, this is important, and it gets easier with time. This is how you hold the human body, this is important, and it gets easier with time. Posture is my passion. You're gonna hear from me a lot more because I know with certainty that if you do this, if you do what I've been teaching you, you're gonna change your life. I mean, who I used to be just a few years ago, unrecognizable to who I am now. And it started with how I held my body. And it's so freaking cool, as well as, all the wonderful permissions that you can give yourself by saying, hey, you know what? This is my life. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what other people say or We're gonna get into that eventually. But today I wanted to start with posture. And if you could do me and yourself the biggest favor of your life, help your body by lifting up your chest and squeezing your butt so that your hips are tilted forwards. Engage your core. Practice this. Practice this until it becomes normal. I too need to think about this every single day, and I know it's worth it. And I hope that you are able to notice that too. I do wish you the best. I really do. And I truly, truly hope that you are the kind of person that when you learn something like this, and when you hear the sincerity and the reasons for why it's important, and you don't want to live a huge portion of your life in pain and in misery and in restriction, if you start now, you can save yourself all of that. You can have such a good life if you start with the basics. I mean, even I need to remind myself to do this, but it's worth it. It's worth it. If there's one thing that you can do for yourself, start with this, truly. And, well, like I said, it's like a stairs. This is the start, and then we can move to the next, and then we can move to the next, and then from there, and there. Feeling good in your body is absolutely priceless. This is the one thing this is your most important thing. Only you can take care of your body. And for as long as you have autonomy, for as long as you are able to freely move your body, take time to do good for you, really, and learn to appreciate yourself. I differentiate between appearance and body. So for the people that say they don't like the way their body looks, they don't like their body. I hear so many mean things about people, or people say about their own bodies, and that's so unfortunate. This is your one thing. This is your best friend. This is your home. And the nicer you are to yourself, to your body, the more it gives back. If you've ever been fit, if you've ever exercised and then had a period where you couldn't because of vacation, because of sickness, surgery, whatever, if there was life happens. If there was a period where you didn't do it and then you started back, like, oh my God, it's like I'm starting from zero. If you've had that before and you continue to train, you realize you get your original strength and conditioning back way faster than had you started from zero, truly. Because everything you do counts. Everything you do counts. You are building the foundation. Muscle memory is a thing, but you are teaching yourself how to hold yourself, how to do the exercises, how to be. And when you have a period of time where that isn't, and you return to it, you already know it. It's like when you get back on a bicycle for the first time in years. You're a little bit wobbly at first, and you find your balance quickly because you already taught yourself how to. It all counts. It's all worth it. I love you. I truly wish the best for you. Start here. Just do it. Please. And yeah, so you're going to hear a lot from me.